2000, the turn of the millennium, a year of disasters like the apocalypse, political elections, and Daikatana. A busy year indeed for everyone, especially the folks at Eidos Interactive. Between Deus Ex, Project IGI, and the aforementioned Daikatana, they also released Hitman Codename 47, a stealth action game where you take on the role of the world's deadliest assassin. Or do you? The game begins with you waking up in a bizarre institution where you are trained in the art of assassination by your friendly neighborhood creepy disembodied voice. After completing your training, you begin doing contract work for an international contract agency called, wait for it, the International Contract Agency. There really isn't much to Codename 47's narrative. The gradual exposure of a criminal conspiracy is so subtle you might not even notice it, and the rest of the story doesn't hold any surprises. What little story there is not all that interesting or well told, but by the end of the day, you aren't playing Codename 47 for its story. Hitman Codename 47 is primarily a stealth game. The majority of its levels emphasize a slow, deliberate progression where taking out as few enemies as possible is ideal. There are targets that need to be taken care of, and while you can experiment with various approaches, there is usually only one completely safe path to follow. However, the game has one big problem. While you can keep experimenting until you find out what you're supposed to do, you have to get it right in one go, otherwise you'll have to restart the mission. That's right, Codename 47 features no in-game saving of any kind, which means all missions have to be completed in a single try. Died near the end of the level? Tough luck. This is mitigated somewhat by a live system, though given that usually by the time you died you will have reached the point of no return, it really is a last resort. Sneaking around and putting fiber wire to good use is satisfying, but you'll often have to engage in firefights, and all the usual suspects are present. Pistols, submachine guns, and snipers are almost always available, and headshots will make short work of anyone in the way. However, while hit detection is localized, your crosshair doesn't guarantee a shot will go there, which is duly frustrating given the unfair odds. What's worse, your enemies can give Rambo a run for his money, as they take a lot of hits to go down. While this makes sense for armored thugs, seeing a mere bodyguard take a dozen hits is just ridiculous. Given the game has only 13 missions, it's clear the lack of saving is nothing more than a cynical way of lengthening a criminally short game. Even worse, Codename 47 was initially envisioned as an action game, and it shows, as some levels are so densely populated that combat is basically inevitable. Sneaking around in these heavily populated areas would be impossible if it weren't for the game's disguise system. You can dress yourself up in an enemy's clothes if he's down, and you really need to suspend your disbelief here. It's ridiculous that Codename 47 can dress himself up in any attire and he'll easily blend in despite being distinctly white, bald, and having a tattoo on the back of his head. Even if people will keep an eye on 47, a really nice touch. However, this system is unreliable. At times you'll simply mind your own business and suddenly the AI just opens fire at you. Combine that with the lack of any kind of saving and you're getting some guaranteed frustration. Graphically, Hitman has aged reasonably well and still looks good, though the laughable draw distance doesn't help mask its age. Also, everyone speaks English with a suspect accent.
Welcome, honorable guest. Every pleasure is available inside.
But the real standout is the music. If you don't mind electronica, you'll love the soundtrack. Composed by Jasper Kidd, it does a fantastic job of maintaining the atmosphere while still being memorable. Some of the music is great to listen to even out of context. It's just stylish, and easily the best part of the game. Codename 47 is a successful experiment in concept, but not so much in execution. The story is nothing special, the AI is occasionally unpredictable, and the lack of any kind of mid-mission saving is simply a dick move. It's still wonderfully atmospheric, and the music is nothing short of amazing, but unless you're interested in the series' history, there is literally no reason to bother with this one.